What if the world's largest cruise ship ended up home porting in Texas? Royal Caribbean just announced Icon of the Seas will be home porting in Galveston beginning in 2027. I'm going to break down what this means for cruisers, what makes Icon class ships so special, and what this means for the home port of Galveston, which is quickly becoming one of the hottest cruise ports in the US. Hi, I'm Brian, Tips for Cruisers. I'm all about saving you money, plan smarter, and make the best out of your next voyage. This week's big news is Royal Caribbean's redeployment of Icon of Seas to Galveston, Texas, with bookings already available right now, beginning in August of 2027, all the way through April of 2028. When the Icon of the Seas launched in 2024, it was a game changer. It's even bigger than the already biggest ships in the world of the Oasis class at 250,800 gross ton, compared to maybe like a 238,000 gross ton of your Oasis class ships. It now has 20 decks instead of the 19 previously. It's going to hold up to 7,600 passengers at full capacity, plus crew. And if it was completely at max capacity, it'd be at nearly 10,000 total people on board. Not only that, but it's got a dedicated water park, as well as 8 different neighborhoods and over 40 different bars and restaurants. You hear many people online say that once when you cruise an Icon class ship, it is a game changer. Now, hopefully you're not complaining that Icon of the class ship isn't the newest ship in the world going to Galveston. I mean, let's just be real. If it's coming in 2027 and launched in 2024, that is only a 3-year-old ship. That is a very new ship. Royal Caribbean will be doing a repositioning cruise out of Miami for Icon of the Seas on August 7th, 2027. It'll be a 9-night cruise visiting the Southern Caribbean. And while this cruise itinerary looks very cool at almost $1,700 per person for an interior cabin at a non-refundable rate, it seems to be a little bit pricey compared to the sailings that will be a little bit later. For instance, the first offering of a 6-night offering from Galveston, Texas after the reposition cruise is only going to be about $1,000 per person for the cheapest inside cabin room. It goes up a little bit for that later, but it's still much more affordable than the repositioning cruise. So if you think an Icon class ship is going to be maybe a little bit too expensive, don't think that it's too expensive. Just go in September or when the kids are in school, and this can be a little bit more affordable. For instance, you can get a family of 4, because kids sail free usually during September or when kids are in school, for about $2,300 for 4 people in the month of September of 2027. So it can be a very advantageous to book early, like right when the schedules come out, such as now. Otherwise, sometimes you can occasionally find a last minute deal as well. One of the reasons why Icon class ships have been able to now come to Galveston in 2027 is because they took the initiative, aka the port of Galveston, to upgrade the facilities to be able to handle the Oasis in Icon class ships. So while it's taking a little bit more time to get an Icon class ship compared to an Oasis class ship, this is going to be making trying an Icon class ship much easier for people in Texas, or maybe people from the West Coast, where it's going to be a little bit easier to fly to, as opposed to having to fly all the way to Florida, such as Orlando for Port Canaveral, Fort Lauderdale, or Miami. We've personally have flown out of or cruised out of Galveston as well in the past in 2019, before the upgraded infrastructure was put in place. And part of the reason why we went there was because we were meeting friends from the other coast, the West Coast, and we thought it would be a little bit easier to meet in the middle rather than having them have to fly all the way to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now, one thing to keep in mind though is if you're going to cruise out of Galveston, is we learned you want to make sure that you have your transportation arranged leaving the port. Like your Uber or your Lyft, they might be a lot more expensive and a longer wait time, because it's just not as it's not as easy to get to. Uber and Lyft drivers aren't driving from Houston to go pick up cruise ship passengers. They'll drive there and drop you off, but not pick you up necessarily. They're not waiting in line like at your Florida ports in Miami, or Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or Port Canaveral. So if you're going to cruise out of there, make sure you pre-arrange your transportation. Let me know in the comments below. Do you plan on booking Icon of Seas out of Galveston once went home ports in 2027 and or 2028? I'm Brian, Tips for Cruisers. Please be sure to like and subscribe.